Did you ever imagine yourself laid out against Juan Manuel Marquez?
I never expect that punch, and he got me the good one.
They say in boxing, for every action, usually comes a reaction.
You can say whatever you want to me, but not to my mother.
And down he goes for a second time.
And as a fighter may think he's home free from any danger whatsoever, we all know that anything can happen at any given moment when it comes to knockouts.
Good left hand, and down goes Williams. It's shocking. One punch knockout.
So recapping back over our previous two videos, we've decided to add a third and possibly final video to our One Punch Lights Out trilogy, enlightening our fans with some of the most exciting, abrupt knockout finishes to date.
Right hand over the top. Perfect straight right hand.
When they look back at my record, they see I spanked the donkey twice in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, cool. You know, I spanked the hell out of that donkey.
I have the one thing that he doesn't have, and that's a punch that can switch lights off within the blink of an eye.
He says he has the one thing that you don't, and that's the power, the punch power. How do you answer that?
He's kidding.
With no introduction needed, Alexander Usyk's recent reign of terror has put almost every heavyweight on blast over the past year or so. However, it was his pursuit to cruiserweight greatness where it all began and concluded, after battling out with British former champion Tony Bellew for 8 rounds before ending the night in dramatic fashion. Wayne Alexander versus Takalu was another British showdown that ended in brutal stoppage, as Alexander timed his opponent to the T after walking him onto a textbook left hook.
He's leaving himself up, and look at that! A left hook, and that might be cut! That might be good night! Wayne Alexander explodes! That is what he can do!
In a much similar outcome, Callum Smith's momentum at light heavyweight has been picking up steam quite nicely. In challenging game Frenchman Borderleek in his most recent appearance, he detonated a left hook counter that was timed to absolute perfection.
By him adopting that approach, it gave you the opportunity for the catch and counter. I'm sure we've seen that somewhere before.
Yeah, it's a good shot. It's got me out of trouble a few times, and it's just something I find so comfortable, and you know, it looks good on the cameras when I watch it back after it.
There were comments from Joe Joyce where he referred to you as Little Joe Tickle.
I don't really care what he thinks, or what his opinion is on my power or how I fight. He'll get a taste of it on Saturday night.
In what was probably the most exciting heavyweight bout of past months, Juggernaut Joe Joyce finally stepped up against a highly ranked opponent in Joseph Parker. And despite all the negativity and remarks made around his fighting style, he managed to prove everyone wrong and place himself as one of heavyweight's most dangerous challengers.
Joyce has responded. Oh, what a shot! He's gone, the left hand from Joyce. It's all over. Joe Joyce by knockout in the 11th round. What a contest we've seen, and what a performance from Joe Joyce. I am unstoppable.
Dylan White's long wait for a shot at the WBC belt finally came around after years in the making. And in the lead-up to one of the UK's biggest fight build-ups seen in a while, the anticipation was kept alive by Fury himself.
He should be here today kissing my feet and washing my feet. But I've given him a new name anyway. He's called Frillian White Knickers.
However, come the night of the fight, it was White who had failed to take advantage of this long-awaited moment, giving Fury an easy night's work, right until he was sharply put out of his misery.
Fury with the uppercut! What a punch! The right uppercut! Dillian Whyte flat on his back at Wembley Stadium with an absolute peach of a punch! He beats the count, but he doesn't know where he is!
Tonight, he met a great in the sport. I'm one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And unfortunately for Dillian Whyte, he had to face me here tonight.
Undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world,
Jones Jr. was certainly one of the most gifted fighters of his generation in ability and athletically. In putting on display some of the most eye-catching punches, he always knew how to keep the viewers entertained.
They learned that Saturday night. Again, once again, third knockdown of the night.
We never saw it.
But still, it's the biggest prize of all, waiting for Harold Graham, the stylish British champion.
Harold Graham was pretty much having it all his way in his WBC title showdown with Julian Jackson. But what came a few rounds later was a catastrophic moment that blew everyone's minds.
Using every inch. Oh, what a punch! I can't believe that. Never been stopped in his career, and he's out to the world. Winning every round there, Harold Graham. Jim, have you ever seen such a turnaround? I did say at the start of the show, by the way, that I knew he was a good puncher. But as the contest went on, I thought there was no chance of him catching Graham.
It's like saying, what a shot. It's like saying, you would have knocked the horse out. And I was the horse.
Casting back to the last super middleweight Super Series tournament, there seemed to be quite an array of talent considering. Though EUBANK Jr. was one participant that took part that was out of his comfort zone altogether, as his middleweight background doubted the majority, yet didn't hold him back from making a statement.
Thunderous left hook sends him to the canvas, and it's been waved off immediately. And Chris EUBANK has sent a statement to the entire tournament in the super middleweight division with a thunderous, explosive finish.
You know, I know I'm fighting again in a few months, so if I see an opportunity, I'm taking you out, which is what happened to have me.
Time is now. Time is now.
The lightweight division is still proving to be one of the hottest divisions amongst the list so far, and with names like Davis and Romero putting eyeballs on the sport, you can't help but be curious on what might just happen.
Are you scared to step in that ring with you?
Yeah, I'm terrified.
Another left hand for Davis, but it was partially caught.
Putting up a resilient performance, Romero did live up to his own hype and expectations, but his over-aggressiveness and lack of defense left him wide open for a more experienced and sharper opponent like Tank to exploit.
Awkward, but in this fight he's not looking.
There's a big left hand, and down goes Romero. That's it. No more.
In an attempt to break free from his father's shadows, Conor Benn's rise to greatness has been nothing short of exhilarating so far, and slowly stepping up to world honors to face legit former champions and names of known is seeming to prove promising.
I'm gonna rise. Oh, good one. Two and he's down.
Left-right combination, and it is all over in an instant. He was waiting for the opportunity. He picked his opportunity. The left jab, the right hand over the top. He wanted a statement victory. He's got a statement victory.
You know, when I say I'm top five for a reason. No one ain't done that to Algerian. No one beat Granados as easy as I did. No one knocked out Vargas in one round. And I beat up Formella better than Porter. So it's like, well, what more do I have to do?
Want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times.
Although multiple lockdowns did lead to the final conclusion, this elusive left hook disguised as a jab was certainly a textbook finish on Vlad's behalf.
Pulev on another left hook, and that may be the one from which he does not get up. He's done, and it's a 5th round KO win for Vladimir Klitschko.
Anthony Yarde's first attempt for world greatness started and ended the night he fought on foreign soil, bravely taking on the Russian crusher in his own backyard.
It's gonna be extra focused now, and come Saturday night, my life changes.
Despite his hard efforts, though, Yarde fell victim to the finesse of Kovalev's jab and right hand all night. And after emptying the gas tank in the 8th, all it took was the jab to finish the Brit off.
Oh, he's gone! He's gone! It was the left hand that did it! And the fight, I think, is all over there. It is over. The referee stopped it. Sergey Kovalev, in his homecoming, has won by knockout.
What is that? Smell that? I think I smell fear.
So much yapping. I'm sure his chin is gonna be very warmed up for the fight. He's gonna need it.
The pride of the Fighting Irish is commonly known around the globe for its atmospheric aura. However, when Irishman Spike O'Sullivan stepped up from domestic level to move into world contender status, it wasn't long before those dreams were shattered into pieces.
The second most careful. Oh my God! That's the reason you have to be careful against David Lemieux. A left hook puts Sullivan on the canvas, and Russell Mora is going to stop the fight. You did the right thing, Joe. You did the right thing.
Tyson was typically the type to maul his opponents into submission by an accumulation of punches, though once in a while he'd manage to pull a punch out the bag that would end his opponent in a blink of an eye.
Than Tyson's pace. A minute 32 instead of a minute 31. It was, as you started to point out, again, Larry, a left hook.
Drawing the show to an end, we finally look back to a fight Evander Holyfield managed to abruptly end Douglas's short heavyweight reign, following his bout with Tyson, avenging Mike's loss with a peach of a right hand to become the new champion of the world.
A twisting right, and down went Douglas. There's a new heavyweight champion of the world, and his name is Evander Holyfield.
A lot of people felt that I couldn't do it because I was a small man. So with this would, display to the kids that, if you work hard and train hard and work at anything, you can be successful.